declare day 15 of my 45-day commitment, third of the way through this, which means I guess I'm 30 days away from my birthday. Birthday's November 4th. Today's October 4th. I guess it makes sense, 30 days. What has been going through my mind, and it was a comment that I made on a post, is, do you have to be crazy to be successful? And I think there's a lot of evidence that shows you do, for several reasons. One, you have to be illogical. Because if you're going to be logical in life, you're only going to do what makes sense. And being successful, what it takes to be successful, doesn't make sense. You have to do things that don't make sense. You have to think ways that don't make sense. You have to take actions that don't make sense. You have to do all kinds of things that a logical person probably wouldn't do, for whatever reason. They're afraid to do it. They have to know how it's going to work out before they would take action. They got to have a strategic plan. Success is a lot of winging it and planning. Planning, it's winging and planning. Winning, improving, having a plan, but knowing that at any moment, kind of like a jet. For those who don't know, or what I understand is that about 90% of the time, a jet is off path to its destination. So it's always auto-correcting. There's a good book called Cybernetics. That was written, I think, in the 60s or 70s. That kind of talks about that. It's kind of like the thermostat in your house. It's set at a certain temperature, and then if it deviates from that temperature, the HVAC kicks on to bring it back to that temperature again. Another reason is you have to be unreasonable, which is, I guess, relative to illogical. But you have to do things that don't make sense. You definitely have to, you only have a certain amount of time, a certain amount of resources, a certain amount of money, but you want to be successful, you may have to give up or sacrifice or exchange that time, that money, those resources. You may have to sell off some stuff so you can get to a course. I've heard a lot of stories of people just selling off their stuff so they could be in a weekend course. That was a defining moment for them, where they transformed, and they were supposed to be trained on how to make a couple $100,000 a year, and then they ended up making 7 figures, multiple 7 figures, off of what was designed to only make a couple $100,000. Some people cash in their retirements so that they can be fully invested in a program or a plan, a business, a strategy. But if you want to be logical, success probably isn't going to work for you. It may be. I would say to be fully expressed and all the way out there isn't going to happen if you're reasonable. What is this? Next is kind of have to be hallucinating. Because you have to be able to see or have a great imagination. You have to be able to see things that don't exist right now. So if your goal is to, and whether that's with something personal to yourself or it's creating a service that doesn't exist, like the startups that have blown up, like Airbnb or Uber or WeWork, these companies that have just taken off, Facebook. I mean, 15 years ago, did you think social medias would be so powerful? I couldn't even conceive that. I would have just thought it was some teenage fun. But it's a big part of businesses these days. So you have to be able to have a vision for things that don't exist, which is what imagination is. Imagination is having a vision for something that isn't something you can see right now, or hear right now, or smell right now, or taste right now. Like creating a recipe for some food that maybe you've never tasted, but you have this idea of how you can combine these spices and these ingredients and make this amazing food, which I will say is not really my talent at all. But I was asked a question a couple months ago if I'm a good cook. So I always eat what I make because I always make it seasoned to however I want. So I'm kind of biased about my cooking. So yeah, my question to that is absolutely, you got to be crazy to be successful. And what you have to go through, you got to be crazy. Staying up till wee times in the morning, getting up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so you can prepare for your day. I mean, think about Steve Jobs. Was that guy sane? I don't think he was. Think about all the people that are ultra successful. Like Elon Musk. What he's been doing lately. I don't really know the details because I don't really get into the news. But I've heard that guy has been doing some interesting things. Tony Robbins, who's arguably the best coach ever. That guy is totally insane. But that's why he's so great. That guy puts himself through things that most people would just shy from. They'd be totally afraid to go. Like the whole walking on coals. If you've done UPW, comment below. I did the walking on coals. And I got about 2 strides away from it, finishing it, and then I came back into consciousness, burned my foot. But it's powerful, extremely powerful, how powerful the mind is over the body. It's amazing. And whether it's the mind, I don't know. I think the mind just allows the soul to be expressed. And that's why you can't feel it until you become conscious of what you're doing. Because I thought, my foot's not burning. And then next step, singed. I burned my foot. So for 3 days, my foot, well, more than 3 days, but 3 more days. That was on Thursday night. So I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My foot was burnt. So if you did UPW, you did the firewalk, comment down below. Because I would love to connect with more Tony Robbins fans. Because that guy is definitely someone to model. He takes life to the extreme. He's a big dude, and he's put himself through a lot. But anyway, this isn't about Tony Robbins. This is about, you have to be crazy to be successful, and I think absolutely. You have to have some level of craziness, insanity, unreasonable, illogical, unpredictable, a lot of improv, risk. And it's all kind of manageable, but there's also gonna go places that you probably didn't think of, whether it's in your risks or your vacation. You're gonna go to places that really going to expand yourself. And that's what it takes to being successful. Just being willing to do what most of the world won't. Most of the world will sit at home and be logical, and they'll do it only to make sense and very little risk. But I don't think the world doesn't reward people who aren't willing to take risks. And you can accumulate small increments at a time, but if you're looking to make quantum leaps, you're looking to make paradigm shifts, you're looking to hit the express lane for success, you're going to have to do some wild things. And that's what excites me, is the variety of what success is. Ultimately, it's the freedom to be able to give at whatever level I feel like. And if I can't give with my time and service, give with an abundance of money. And then keep giving with abundance of money. And creating a couple nonprofits that I think will impact the world, impact the American economy, eventually global economy. So yeah, if you think it takes some craziness to be successful, we're on the same page. Comment below. I'd love to talk to you.